はい。それでは皆様、本日はですね、弊社の、ウェビナーご参加いただきまして、誠にありがとうございます。はい。少々お待ちくださいね。はい。はい。ではですね、本日の、ウェビナーなんですけれども、ダンディ大学の留学ウェビナーというタイトルで、本日、開催をしていきたいと思います。大学よりですね、担当官の、クリスティン、さんにですね、お越しいただきまして、本日の、ウェビナーでは、大学の特徴についてですね、いろいろとご紹介していただく予定となっておりますので、ぜひ、聞いていただけたらと思います。何かご質問等ございましたら、チャットボックスの方に、ご投稿いただくか、もしくは、マイクオンにしていただいて、お話しいただいても大丈夫です。はい。ただ、本日ですね、プレゼンテーションの最中は、マイクとかカメラはオフの状態で、聞いていただけたらと思います。はい。また、本日のですね、ウェビナーは、YouTube でも同時配信を、されておりますので、はい。そちらについてまた、YouTube ですね、後ほどご覧いただくことも可能ですので、よろしくお願いいたします。はい。はい。それではですね、お時間になりましたので、早速ではあるんですけれども、ウェビナーを開始していきたいと思いますので、よろしくお願いいたします。Christine, could you start your presentation?
Sure, that's no problem. So, hello everyone. I'm Christine. So, welcoming to the webinar today. I'm going to talk about University of Dundee and also probably some living life in Scotland. And really thank you for joining us. I could see we got quite a few of you today, and I look forward to chatting with you, or maybe like if you could ask any questions or, like even random questions. So I'm happy to answer if I can. Let me just slightly introduce myself. Um, oh, doesn't. Okay, so as you can see, this is today that I'm going to talk about like the Dundee as I gave the theme home from home. Well, you could see that I'm not like originally from here, but now I really regard either Dundee or Scotland as my home now. And myself, oh, it doesn't work. Let me see. So currently, I'm working as the senior international and regional lead for East Asia. And this is the photo. Last year, I went to Japan by a holiday trip. And I put like just slightly information about myself. The 2014 is actually the first year I came to the UK, being as a student. And I also studied in University of Dundee as well, but it's like a kind of like a different journey. From that moment, I went back to China, which is my home country. And from 2020, I relocated in Scotland. At that moment, I chose the University of Dundee as another degree for me to study with. So I'm the alumni from the Art and Design School as well. And now I'm the staff of the University of Dundee. I'm not so sure how many of you heard about Dundee or know it as a city. If you if you could just type one to let me know if you know about Dundee. I'll just give maybe like a few seconds to see if there's anyone heard about Dundee. Okay, seems like a no. So probably like I could talk everything then because you haven't been to or haven't heard of that yet. So I'm going to talk about Dundee by 4D. What is that 4D is one design, another is discover, and the next one I give a dozzle. The last one is delicious. So let me talk about the design first. And the Dundee as the city is actually the first and the only UNESCO City of Design in the UK. So this is a really creative and quite like art and design city. As you can see, the building is actually the V&A Dundee. And it's very interesting why I want to start from here. This building is actually built from 2018. And it's, let's say, it's designed by the Japanese architect, um, the Mr. Kuma. So I'm not so sure that, but I think he's very famous in Japan because I could see he is the one designed the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Stadium in Japan. Or can you see some message here? Oh, right. Yeah, so this is the first building that he designed in the UK. And also, like, this is quite like a landmark for Dundee now. I saw, as long as you come to Dundee, you will definitely see it. So it's not like a really pure museum. It's also the Scottish like design center. So now, right now, the Scottish government would like to invest a lot of like about design or some creative industries investment to the city of Dundee here. And then I'm going to talk about Discover. Why this city is quite strong connected with Discover is there are a lot of inventions from Dundee and it's generated from Dundee. As you can see, there's even the stamps and that like LCD technology. If you have your phone that here, that one of our academics I was saying that Dundee always have like the most closed and let's say distance or relationship with you because as long as you touch your screen from your phone, that is the distance between you and Dundee. If you would have like more information that you could like check like Google about more details. So I'm not going to go through with everything today. And then you could see there are a lot of museums or galleries you could explore in Dundee. It's quite like not that super big city, but it has everything and it gives you a lot of different cultural atmosphere when you are in Dundee. The next one is like why I say I gave is as a Duzzle, which is a lot of people ask me that, like, I don't know where is Dundee, but I know the Scotland is quite probably is going to be very cold, which is not really true. So Dundee is the sunniest city in Scotland, which sometimes you might have like 1 day trip that somewhere was still raining. And when you come over to Dundee and then you found it's still sunny. So the summertime is quite comfortable, not very warm or not very hot, generally like 20 degree. And like winter time is not cold at all. Sometimes really random days that might be 1 or just 2 degree, but generally well above 5 degree. So which is quite comfortable to live. This is like really classic and typical Dundee view. So as you can see, if you come over to Dundee, you will definitely see the view and everybody enjoys this as a even small city that sometimes still have like the experience too close to the water. The four pictures or photos is not really generated by the university. It's actually from me or from myself. The first one is very interesting that last year I visited Japan because like springtime is famous from cherry blossom. I think I went there was slightly behind. That I missed the time. So when I came back home and I found, oh, actually the cherry blossom is just like next door. So if you come over to Dundee or Scotland, sometimes you might find like it's quite similar to Japan. The summertime is quite chilled and comfortable because it's close to the water. There are a lot of like water sport activities and a lot of citizens just sitting next to the water. And the autumn view is not just only from Dundee. I feel it's everywhere in Scotland. This is just a photo. I think when I just arrived in Scotland back to 4 years ago. So it's really spectacular and a lot of different scenarios or the beautiful views that you could explore in Scotland. The last one is basically from the campus, and it's quite a like classic building from the campus. So back to maybe 3, 4 years ago, there was a big snow, and then the snow covers everything, and it was really beautiful. So I feel like that is a really like a Harry Potter world. The last one I'm going to talk about the delicious. I guess most of people might know this despair or the the yeah, let's say Paddington, because it's quite famous. Back to a few years ago, there was a movie was super popular, so everyone likes Paddington in the UK, and his famous or his favorite food is the marmalade. Why I use Paddington here is actually the marmalade was originally from Dundee, or it generated from Dundee. And I always say, or I always use Paddington as the example that if Paddington want to plan the next trip, it's definitely going to be Dundee, and Dundee will serve like as much as marmalade as he wants. And Dundee is actually like quite a central place that 70% of Scotland produce is growing within 30 miles of Dundee. So you will find most organic, fresh food in Dundee. You will find different food in Dundee and have like just really chilled and enjoyable life here. This is the picture that shows where Dundee it is. It's up to the north of the UK, and Dundee has a small airport, which you could, if you would like to travel to somewhere, some other places in the UK, you could just take the flight. And there is, I think there are 2 flights every day between Dundee and London, and it just costs like an hour and a half. So if you would like to travel to London, that will be really simple. And from the other cities that, for example, like Edinburgh or Glasgow, you could take the train, go there just by an hour. It is the fourth biggest city in Scotland, which is, as I mentioned, right in the middle. And previously I talked about like it's the city of design, and also from like a magazine called GQ magazine, it gave the Dundee the name the coolest city. It's not because cold, it's I assume is because this city is quite cool, and a lot of young generations that gave the vibe really to the city. And yeah, so as you can see from the National Geographic, it actually recommended you definitely visit Dundee as the definitely destination. So even you didn't choose University of Dundee as your final choice, but please feel free to come over to have a look and visit Dundee. And this is give like some small ideas about like where you could shop, where you could go to have a coffee. There are many, many coffee shops in Dundee, and they are all so different. So it's quite a good experience. Because today I thinking that different of you might be interested in different subjects. So I'm going to go through some general information will be helpful for everyone. And then let's see if shall we start from the subjects that like I could see some most of you are interested, or like if you would like to know more others, then please feel free to post a message or post a question. And yeah, so no matter where you like to choose study, you definitely would like to know that how shall I live there and is that affordable? So definitely Dundee is the place. It's affordable and it's like very acceptable for the students and the students' parents or families as well. And you could see the accommodation, from the campus, we offer the accommodation. A lot of students who choose staying on campus, that normally they just spend like get up from the bed and just after 5 minutes and they could get to their lecture room. It's very convenient and very safe because the Dundee campus is right the middle of the city. If you go to the city center, generally you will spend maybe 5 to 7 minutes. So it's quite convenient for students to stay and to live, and we have everything here. And we also have a lot of like next door accommodation as well. So it's just like 3 minutes away from the campus and it's very close. So most of like our rooms are the in-suite room. So you will have your private space that you don't need to share your bedroom or even bathroom or the toilet with the others. But generally you will have like a shared kitchen. So if any of you are interested in cooking or really like cooking, that you will have some sharing experience with your flatmate as well. And this is going to give you some idea about the living cost. It's generally for a month, but frankly speaking, I feel a lot of students might spend slightly less than this because some of the costs you don't necessarily to pay for it. And there are a lot of students just have the right choice that so even less than 1,000, you still could live in Dundee good for a month. But if you have like would like to have a really diverse and quite rich, like not shouldn't use rich, let's say very to explore more or have more experience to travel more. So it might cost a little bit more. So this is just give you the idea that how much generally as the standard you are going to live in Dundee in the middle place. And I have to say, from this point, there are two like Asian shop in Dundee. So they offers a lot of Asian food, which is like quite welcoming for no matter for the Asian student or even for the local student or local citizens. If you like to have some like specific food or snacks from your home, that you may also find it in Dundee. And as you can see, the university offers like really, really supportive support to every student. And we got the first place in Scotland from like a student survey from 2022, no matter from the academic perspective or like from health service, like to support you, or even like some international advice that a lot of international struggling from at the beginning, they were not so sure that how well they really get into the life here. So definitely be relaxed when you come into Dundee. I have a really good example, which was probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, and there was a young girl just arrived randomly in the afternoon, and she chose that the place. I think she should go to the accommodation, but she found the university building. And like at that moment that she was struggling about the language, and the staff that she met can't really communicate with her. That I met her and I found, oh, it's actually, the students that like we noticed from like some student chat in the past, and I gave her a lot of instructions, and like my colleague just really quick book her a taxi for her to go from our building to the accommodation. I think to that day she still feel like what happened to her is like why everyone is so passionate on helping her. So this is everybody in Dundee, that as long as we found anyone needs help, like no matter the staffs or the student, they just go there to help, not even for like they don't need a reason, or we don't need a reason for that. So feel relaxed and feel safe to be here. And just slightly give you the idea about the tuition fee if you would like to study in Dundee. So generally the tuition fee around 20 grand per year, particularly if you are interested in study like a postgraduate. So it's just covering the whole year. But because Dundee offers a lot of scholarships that you will see after, so combined as the living cost, generally a year that maximum you might spend like 30 grand is really as the maximum. A lot of students spend less than that. But if you are interested in lab-based courses, for example, if you study some like biology or anything about research, that it might be slightly higher, which is almost like 27 grand per year. And some art and design student might need some studio base or some equipment. It might have like slight different from it. And next one is just give you the idea that how we are going to offer the scholarships. So it's going to be the tuition fee reduction. A lot of students got really good GPA and good scores from their background. So we are going to automatically offer 5 grand or 5,000 to you as the scholarship, which you think about the tuition fee and now turns to like 15 grand. And some students might really not easy to get a really super good GPA, but it's also fine. We also offers another scholarship, which is the Global Citizen Scholarship, just like there is a 1,000 difference from it or gap from it. From here, it shows in this interview, it really depends what type of situation. Generally, I think currently it doesn't really need like interview. But when you say interview, a lot of students feel like nervous because they feel it's going to be like a test, which is not a test or not like a really formal interview. It's kind of just like a conversation between you and people like me to talk about why you want to come over or how do you think Dundee going to help you. So it's going to be like a really easy chat and just the conversation to know more about you. And you might have like the opportunity to get the 4,000 scholarship. And this year, I actually found a Japanese applicant that the student got the 3,000 scholarship from the alumni scholarship, which potentially could be your family's graduated from Dundee, or if you want to study at Dundee for the UG degree and progress to the PG degree, so you could get the alumni scholarship. The good thing in Dundee is that sometimes we accept different scholarship as a combination, but really depends to the end that which scholarship you will get. So you might get over than 5,000 scholarships as overall. And a lot of students choose the university might think about the rankings. We got some quite good rankings from like the general perspective. For example, as you can see, we are the top 25 university from Times, And like there is a ranking survey that we are the second safe city in the UK. And also we are the 5 stars QS university. And I would like highly recommend you to look at subject rankings as well. So like we got a lot of subjects ranking, like even like top 10 in the world, like in the UK, or even top 100, top 50 in the world. And feel free to go to our webpage. So when you go to the webpage, you will see the subjects. And when you go to the different or the specific subject, you will find some different reputations based on the subjects you are interested in. And so from the academic perspective, University of Dundee offers a really wider range of subjects. I don't want to say that we have everything, but we almost have everything, like most of the subjects. For example, as you can see, we have like art and design, architecture, and even the business, finance, and business management courses. Something about education, social work, or even the environment and society, and some like general humanities, law, psychology, even life science. A few random like students asked me about forensic anthropology. So Dundee a really good option for that. And sometimes you will feel it's quite like, oh, interesting that Dundee offers that subject. And we do have a really good reputations on medicine, dentistry, and even nursing. So a lot of students work really hard just trying to get a place in Dundee about going to study them. We also have like science and engineering school, which offers a lot of like more practical like placement opportunities with students, as well as like the computing courses. But I'm not going through everything today. As I mentioned, please feel free to contact me. I will share my email address to the end today. And then also feel free to go to our webpage or even our social media platforms to find more information about us. And definitely contact SI UK as the key contact in Japan, and feel free to ask them questions about us. Because today I found a lot of students signed with, and they are interested in about studying art and design or even architecture in Dundee. So I'm going to give slightly more introduction about the art and design school. So the school the full name called Duncan of Jordanstone College of Art and Design, which everybody now called it DJCAD, and myself actually graduated from there. It has a really good reputation, and you could just go back to 1888 that like it has a really long history, and also now from last year, the school ranked actually top 10 in the UK. As you can see, like we have a lot of programs or even the research in the really top position in the UK. DigiCAD is a really like a small niche place that we don't normally do a lot of like, branding stuff to make like the noise for the to make the name, but a lot of local students and home students, they know that is definitely the one of the best choice. So from DJCAD, you could see a lot of home students studying here, and it's a really close community. So even for me that I graduated, that every time like I met a DJCAD student or like somewhere we were talking about DJCAD, that I found a lot of alumni feel like super passionate about it, and we always regard each other as like a whole family. And DJCAD offers like different directions, which it covers generally, I feel like 80 to 90% a subject that if you like to study about art and design, which you could see the like art and philosophy and even fine art. And also it includes some communication design, which includes like animation, which is quite famous in Japan, like illustration or graphic design. And we also offers like jewelry design and textile, which you might not like that many choices in the UK. It has a good reputation as well. So if you are interested in about studying like PG program, that there are a few different choices because the difference from DJ CAD or our art and design from the others is like we offer the first year as a foundation year, which the foundation sometimes give like a wrong message. It combines with some like foundation courses. It's because the Scottish system for the education in the undergraduate years that we offer 4 years in Scotland, every Scottish universities are the same. So the first year gave you the opportunity, for example, to experience where actually you want to go. Let's say you are not so sure if you want to study, let's say, product design or some graphic design, but you could study through the first year to explore and to study some general common skills. And they offer you the opportunity to change or to decide your decision on the or in the second year, which you don't need to reapply for it. You just need to make sure which course or which direction you want to go, which is quite popular for a lot of students because some of them that they are not so sure where actually I'm good at or where actually I want to go. So except those programs or those directions, as you can see, animations or art and philosophy, fine art. For all of those, you can see that we also offers different from the interior environmental design and product design. So it goes through the different ways, but it also has like, as I mentioned, from year 1 to year 4. And Dundee is quite famous from architecture and urban planning as well, because architecture education, let's say study system is a bit different. So it offers like 5 year for you to study here, and particularly like the Mr. Colma that he created the V&A Dundee building here, which is really, I think within the architecture industry that Dundee has its name here. If you are interested about our architecture, please feel free to come talk to me. And in terms of like, there are a lot of portfolio requires based on art and design students. I did have asked like academic from art and design schools that they told us actually we are not really looking for super excellent portfolio, that you don't necessarily to give like over energy on it, but they want to see the student potential through the portfolio, which that you might suitable for that direction or you might really matching with that course. So they look the portfolio through that purpose. And so sometimes I just suggest art and design students don't struggle with the portfolio. Just think who you want to be and where you want to go. So the above are about the programs in the UG or undergraduate years that we do offers a lot of postgraduate courses in DJ CAD, which is like covers like loads of the directions or disciplines I just explained. And I can slightly introduce like the courses where actually I graduated, which is the design for business. So a lot of students, they want to change their direction or their um, in career path that they don't have like a really proper design background, but they would like to join with the design or art industry. So this program offers you like the opportunity that you don't necessarily need like a professional background. For example, myself that previously I studied about banking and my working experience, nothing related with design. But at that moment, I really do think the design method or those design ways could help me to like build my future and like contribute to my own career path. So I gave that idea that then the course accept me even I don't have any art or design skills or background. And there is a QR code. So if you like to know more details, you could ask me, or you could go through the QR code to check from our webpage. And this is one of our famous alumni, which is from DJ Cat. And you might have seen this book a few years ago. It's like the world top selling coloring book. So Joanna it was graduated from DJ Cat, and I was like really, I feel really happy at that moment. There was once that she came back and for a talk that a lot of our classmates and the students on campus asked about her, like her idea and how she generated her business and how she connected with her skills to like her achievement. So like, yeah, you are going to study from like, some alumni somewhere that where has alumni like her. The above are about like studying art and design, and I found a lot of students are interested in about education and some like courses about English and even psychology. I do remember there was a student or was interested in about like politics. So there is a school that we called School of Humanities, Social Science, and Law. They offers like those programs, which covers all the interested from the above students. And if you like to study about like humanities in Dundee, which is actually a good choice, and it offers like history, philosophy, like English, even film studies, creative writing and comics. And as you can see, I picked just randomly that our reputation about the courses, like we are the second place in Scotland for English study and the first place in the UK for creative writing. And if you are interested in about like English or some creative writing or even comic study, that where is like Dundee is the good choice that you can see we have so much more than like a traditional English literature here that we offer the opportunity to study across the traditional boundaries, which you might have the opportunities to study with the others that you will have like really interdiscipline and shared experience with the other students and also other academics. I think in Japan that like comics could be very popular. So Dundee is a really good place to study that here. And as you can see that um, being a place to study comics, our university and the Scottish Centre for Comic Study publish comics through our imprint. And you can see this is all about our like the let's say it generated from all of our students and alumni. So we have like a few famous alumni from here. And those examples probably like are much more popular and familiar from the local student, but you still could see this is where the Dundee that like gave the opportunity and gave the environment for those excellent students to study, and they got their achievement from here. So if you are interested in about studying, like education or even the TESOL, which is like teaching English to speakers of other languages, that we do have a few choices here. The good one from Dundee is that it offers some opportunities for you to have some practical experience, and the program will bring you to some opportunities or external audience that to give you like the chance to enhance your future employabilities. And sometimes like it's I think that we have a lot of Asian students come over just particularly for studying education or TESOL. And if you are interested in particular education route or program, that still feel free to come to talk to us, because we offer some programs that like it allows students to have really teaching experience, no matter for the young kids or for like some elder generation than the young kids, that you will have really various experience combined with your degree studying. So rather than just purely studying, you will have a lot of practical experience as well. And as I mentioned, that I found a few applications from Japan, the student who are interested in about like studying medicine or dentistry. I won't talk that much, but as you can see that we always rank like almost like top 10 or sometimes top 1 to top 3 in the UK for medicine. A lot of students just come over to study medicine and become to a GP here and study and working in Scotland or even in the UK after. And the dentistry, so this gives you the idea about the medicine career, because I found today that we may don't have medicine applicants, that it just gives you the brief introduction about it. And some students are interested in studying dentistry. It's the top one in the UK, which the dentistry school actually based on campus. So it's not just the school, it's also the dentistry hospital for the citizen. So a lot of citizens come over to just go for like the dentist. And this is overall about like some brief introduction about like subjects we are offering from the interested in Japan market. But feel free to come to email us or ask question if you are interested in some other subject. I could give you some brief introduction. And the language entry requirement is quite different as well, because a lot of universities ask for at least 6.5 as the lowest entry requirement for the language. But Dundee has a lot of programs over like 6.0 as the entry requirement, particularly in business school. If you are interested in about business or some marketing management, that generally you only need to get the 6.0 from IELTS. But if you like to study, for example, nursing or medicine dentistry, it asks for slightly higher one. And a lot of international students choose to go for the pre-sessional English courses. We do offer the face-to-face option and also the online option. that give you the flexible if you want to come earlier or just like slightly behind the pre-sessional class is how okay if you just want to stay at home for English study, which is fine. So it's not only offering for students who didn't got the eligible scores, it just gives you the opportunity that if you just want to have earlier experience for studying here or to have like more flexible experience to living here. So yeah, feel free to have a look, and it's quite a good choice for international students. And we do offer open days. I know it's a bit challenging for international applicants, particularly they have to, even like all of you, you have to book flights to come over. But feel free to look at if like you have any plans that are thinking come to the UK or Scotland. If we have the open day, please feel free to join us. You will have a really good experience on that day. And sometimes we do offering the tailored campus tour and the experience same as the open day. So if you want to come to visit or just come over for like tourism purpose, you could let us know that if you want to have a look about Dundee, and we could tailor like a trip for you to let you know about the courses you want to know and about the campus and about city. And this is the talk for today. So I leave my email address here. And now I'm happy for if any of you want to ask any questions or some like just discussions with me.
Thank you very much for your presentation. はい。
Thank you.
Thank you. はい。ではですね、今から質問の時間となりますので、もしですね、ご質問ございましたら、チャットボックスの方に、ご投稿いただくか、マイクをオンにしていただいても、大丈夫です。で、先にちょっといくつかご質問をいただいておりますので、まずそちらからご質問させていただきたいと思います。はい。Christine, I have some questions, and then the first questions is about a student who would like to do a master's degree in design,
Yeah.
but then she doesn't have any degree in arts, or she doesn't have any like a professional experience. But then she's got about 20 years of experience for design as a hobby. So she's wondering, even though they don't have any, art background, if it's possible to apply for the, design related master's course.
Yeah, it's as I was trying to say definitely, but I think we are trying to give really accurate answer for the audience, which I think is highly possible. As I talked about that my own program, which is I think her experience quite similar to me, but like I even don't have like design hobbies to be honest. So as long as you show yourself and give like a really good introduction or information about yourself and why you are interested in studying art and design, and give you like your hobbies if you have some skills or just the interest that the reason why, it has the possibility to give you the offer for that. Particularly I think my program is will be really happy to not my program, the program I graduated, which is design for business, would happy to accept student like that. Sometimes it combined with business idea and also design idea. So it's like a cross-discipline experience. It's quite matchable for student like they, who asked the student, who asked the question, sorry.
Ah, okay. I think the student, she looked at your website, and one of the courses she's kind of interested in is curatorial practice. But then she's not sure if the course is for someone who wants to become a curator, or actually that she wants to make some artistic, how can I say, work, designing and then studying design or making or designing something. So,
Yes.
yeah. So,
I I have to be honest, I didn't have many inquiries about that program previously, but like just as I mentioned, please feel free to send me the email because sometimes, particularly art and design, is how we use the word is like decentralized, which is generally most of the applications will go through our admissions team, who like those people are professional to go through all the documents, particularly application documents. And like art and design is one of the subjects or disciplines that really requires academics from the school to look through the applications because they will match her or the applications desire, inquiries, and background as overall to see if we can offer the opportunity or not. Sometimes I personally feel that like it's not we don't offer the offer. It's sometimes a few students are over excellent that they can't get it over because the school feel like oh it's actually over qualified, which is how can we really build like to find the potential for that type of application, or sometimes that the academics might feel you know it might not be helpful for you to choose that program, and they will give some other choice or some other advice for what they can see from the application. So do contact us or contact me and give me as much as information about her own background, and we could pass it over to the particular academic who look after the program. Then we'll get the answer if yes or no.
okay. In that case, can she send any portfolio or like in PDF format or something by
Yeah,
email?
sure, definitely.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Welcome for that.
はい。そうですね。アート系のコースということで、バックグラウンドですね、が違うということであっても、そうですね。今回のこの時間で可能性が絶対ゼロというふうに、言うことはできないということなので、もちろん、最終的には、入試、アドミッションチームの方が判断を下していくということになりますので、そうですね。で、ポートフォリオなどがもしあれば、先に、このクリスティンさんの方に送っていただいたりですとか、あとは、ご質問者様の、詳しい、経歴っていうところを、事前に、お送りいただけたら、じゃあ、どのコースがいいのかとか、そういったご相談とか、アドバイスもいただけるというような、話ですので、はい。ちょっと今回ですね、詳しいバックグラウンドがわからない状態なので、なかなか詳しいところまで、回答ができかねる部分ではあるんですけれども、はい。ぜひですね、このクリスティンさんのに、メールしていただいて、ポートフォリオですとか、ご経歴ですとか、はい。そういったことをちょっと一度、聞いてみていただける、聞いてみていただくことを、お勧めはいたしますね。はい。ありがとうございます。はい。And we've got another question about scholarship.
Yeah.
Um, I think you introduced a couple of scholarships, but is it possible for students to apply for multiple scholarships at the same time?
Yeah, the answer is yes, but really depends on which program and what scholarship you are looking for. For example, like even myself, that to the end why I made decision to come over to Dundee because at that moment I've been offered a really generous scholarship, which overall like 13,000. So I like paid kind of like home student for the postgraduate study. And for that question itself, that let me go back to the to that page, it might be helpful. Yeah, it's here. So like from the top one, as long as we could see you are eligible, which is, like different schools or let's say different universities or different, even this high schools that might have different curriculum, but we are going to calculate as like the from 100% perspective. So as long as you got the 80% overall, and it will be generated automatically for you, so you don't have to apply for it as the global excellent scholarship. If you feel struggled that you calculate as 80%, but you didn't get that, you could also send us the email, say, if there is any different understanding from it, it's also okay. So sometimes we found might be like in another way that you can get 80%, but it really depends on the admissions team that how they use the calculations way to do that. But if you can't do it, then what I mean that if maybe I can't get 80%, you could apply for the Global Citizen Scholarship. That we will have like a page tell you how to really go through the scholarship, because sometimes I think University of Dundee is really generous from scholarship. So if you are interested in studying or to get the Global Citizen Scholarship, you could just let us know, because some countries we do offer that automatically, but it's not like overall all the countries, because too many countries for the admissions team to do that. So like highly potential if you are good enough, but like slightly just have the slight gap from the global excellent, so you will still have high possibility to get the global citizen scholarship. But these two scholarship, you can't combine them together or regarded applying them together. So either one or either that one. Some schools do offer their own scholarship, for example, like life science, that they offer extra 2,000 scholarship, I think. So if you study that like program through that school, then you might have, let's say, for example, you might have 7,000 scholarship in total, because you can get the excellent scholarship and the school scholarship as the combination. So that's a potential, really depends on which program and what type of scholarship that student can get.
Thank you for your answer. はい。そうですね。スカラシップについては、複数、出願、申請することができるかということなんですけれども、これからご入学されるコースであるとか、学部とかによってもちょっと異なってくるということなので、はい。その点についてお気をつけくださいということで、このオーバーシーズグローバルエクセレンススカラシップについては、成績を満たしている方については、もう自動的に、付与されるというものになっておりますので、ご自身で申請するというようなものではないというご説明だったかと思います。はい。で、ちょっとグローバルエクセレンススカラシップ、届かなかった方については、その下のグローバルシティズンシップスカラシップに、またなんていうんですかね、申請できるチャンスもあるかもしれないというような。また、所属されている学部とかですね、が独自に、発表している、スカラシップもあるということですので、これから、もしダンディ大学進学されたら、その学部のページもご覧いただいて、スカラシップをご確認いただくと、いいかなと思います。その場合は学部の ものと、この、一般的なものを合わせて、得ることができる可能性もあるというようなことですね。はい。
Thank you.
はい。他に何か、ご質問などございますでしょうか？丈夫そうですかね。はい。そうですね。本日、ちょっとお時間になってしまいましたので、本日のウェビナー、これで終了とさせていただけたらと思うんですけれども、先ほど、クリスティンさんから、表示されているメールアドレスですね、に、表記があった通り、はい。皆様、ご自由に、クリスティンさんに、メールで、ご連絡していただいても大丈夫ですので、はい、ぜひですね、ダンディ大学のこともっと知りたいなという方については、はい、ぜひメールアドレスを記録しておいていただけたらと思います。あ、こちらですね。今表示されているものですね。はい。ですので、はい。で、また、弊社では、ダンディ大学への出願のサポートですね、もう、しっかりとさせていただいておりますので、今後、ちょっとしっかり出願の準備をしていきたいなということであれば、ぜひ、弊社の、個別カウンセリングを申し込みいただいたりですとか、説明会ですね。大学院留学説明会というものも毎月行っておりますので、ぜひ、ご参加いただけたらと思います。はい。それではですね、皆様、本日遅い時間ですね、お忙しいところご参加いただきまして、誠にありがとうございました。はい。Kristen, so it's time, so we are finishing today's webinar. So thank you very much for your
Sure, that's no
presentation.
problem. Thank
Yeah,
you as well. Thanks for
yeah,
joining the webinar.
yeah. Thank you
Oh,
very
there
much.
is. Oh,
Yeah, yes.
welcome to
Okay.
Dundee.
Okay. Yes, so thank you very much for presentation today. So I'm closing the webinar now. So thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
ありがとうございました。では失礼いたします。